Hello, I'm Marjorie Mandel. I'm here to interview Mike Love of the Beach Boys. The California group, who brought us such good vibrations in the 60s, is back together again and have just produced the Light album. This new record is going to give us a lot of the Beach Boy music we're used to, and a couple of real nice surprises. Your new hit single, Good Timing, seems to be a return to your earlier sound. Is that because you consider the disco thing a defeat, you know, that you...
No, it's one kind of music that we did, and as well as we do ballads, like Good Timing is basically a ballad for which we're known, like Surfer Girl and In My Room and Warmth of the Sun, three that I can think of that were real pretty. And Good Timing is in that tradition, as well as Shortening Bread, for instance, is more rock and roll kind of a thing, and it's more in the tradition of something like Sloop John B. or Cotton Field, something that was folk-oriented that we did. Because, see, Al Jardine has this whole folk awareness, folk songs, and the songs that are indigenous to or part of the tradition or culture of American music. And so we like to do a little bit of every kind of music, you know, and all the influences that have touched us musically, we like to relate them in our albums.
The Beach Boys are very, very popular in Holland.
We lived there for a while.
You caught a record there, too.
That's true, yes.
Well, how do you feel about that album now? It wasn't very well received.
Oh, it was pretty well received critically, and I think we were with a record company at the time that didn't really have a grasp on how to promote the Beach Boys and what really the Beach Boys were as people and all that. So it did fairly well sales-wise, actually, although it didn't start out in a big, huge rush, but over years it's kind of mounted. It's a favorite of several people. And it was quite an experience recording in Holland. It was neat living there. I'd walk to the store and I'd buy my vegetables and here's the little stand and go back and make breakfast or lunch or whatever, and just lived there with the people and went to record out in this little pasture way out in the country. And I lived in Bloemendaal, matter of fact. So it was a fun experience.